all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly values, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hello, how we doing today? Hopefully we are doing well. Thank you for the membership and the support, Jeff Clairsaint. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
But now you have been promoted. You are now one of my elite employees.
Like I said before, I'm going to be dealing with this whole political thing from various different ways, rather than just Kamala, Trump, this, that, and the third, because a lot was exposed. Lots of things were exposed this time around. And it's not necessarily things that we didn't know, but more so things that became clearer. And I'm hoping that things become clearer. Because there are many issues that surround this entire thing. And one of the issues was the pandering to feminism and feminists. And this is the second time around in recent history, really recent history, where the lie of feminism got exposed, yet a lot of Black women still want to be blind to it. It's a very weird political environment, mainly because we're about to experience a shift. You know, it's almost as if for the past 10 or 15 years, the Democrats have been taking a dive because they've been making it nearly impossible to keep riding with them. And this so-called red wave was like an overcorrect. It's an overcorrection. What let me know that this was an overcorrection was the fact that Republicans won the House and the Senate, along with the presidential seat. That's a lot. That's actually a lot, because had the Senate and or House remained blue, that actually would be a different story. But it's almost as if they took a dive. And the reason why I'm saying that they took a dive is because the Democratic Party did not put its best candidates up. As a matter of fact, they sabotaged them. They sabotaged Bernie Sanders because he would have ran instead of Hillary Clinton in the 2016 election against Trump the first time. And they skipped over RFK Jr. this time and chose Kamala. Both of those times, Trump would have lost. I almost guarantee you he would have lost to Bernie. He would have lost to Bernie. And if RFK were running against him this time, he would have won. almost just off being a Kennedy alone. So the fact that the Democratic Party specifically did not allow its two strongest potential candidates to run, even though they were perfectly willing to do and wanted to do it and were trying to do it, let me know that they was trying to take that dive. To make it as impossible as they made it to vote for them. And to make people say, you know what? Trump, we might have to fight him in office, but we'll fight him if we have to. If we got to fight with him in office with him, if we got to fight with him, we'll fight with him as a people. But what we're not going to do is keep voting for y'all. We're not going to do that. We can't, because you make it impossible. Because you can't tell me that they didn't know no better than to run that campaign the way they did for Kamala. You can't tell me. You can't tell me that they didn't know better than that. The American people pretty much said, we can't go down this route. This route might not be the best route. This was literally an election about the lesser of two evils. One was the devil you know. The other one was kind of the devil you don't. We already know what the woke demon do. We know what the woke demon is about. Now, this other one was in office before, and he actually has rhetoric that, I don't know. It sounds a little interesting, sound a little whacked out. But you know what? We can't do this vote, though. Like, we can't. Let me say something, because Black folk always know everything but what they ought to be knowing. Because I've seen a couple of comments, oh, these relationship channels, now they talking about politics. And first of all, the algorithm is hot. Folks want to talk about whichever angle you coming at, whether you're a political pundit, whether you're whatever angle you talking about it from, it's a hot topic. It had people emotionally charged up, and people want to express or hear their views expressed. The algorithm is hot. It is what it is. But I don't side with nobody. I get paid by AdSense and super chats. I don't get paid by any particular party. I'm not leaning towards any particular party per se. I don't even vote. Didn't vote this time. Not going to vote next time. I just see the play for what it is. But to relegate my channel down to just a relationship channel is a mischaracterization of my channel. Because I have not only been talking about relationship. I've talked about values, and I've talked about bioculturons. And what we are witnessing right now is a bioculturon shift. I'm going to do a live stream about that part. As usual, this country does its bioculture shift. They're trying to shift the values again. And they know that in order to shift values, I'm going to get to the Joy Reid thing, but they know something that we always seem to miss, that in order to shift values, you have to change all three of these things. Value shifting is an uncomfortable process because it is a paradigm shift. So they are using the environment, the law of the land, the institution itself, city, state, federal level government. They are using it to set the tone for the change in culture. This is everything that Trump was talking about. He was talking about a bioculture event that he wants to try to initiate it. I told you bioculturons take one generation or less. I told y'all that. We think it takes all these years. It actually does not. The fast track way to do it is the environment. Using the environment to change the legal climate, to change the societal climate, to change the governmental climate, to change the law of the land, to change these things. That can be done rather quickly. A few laws here and there, a couple of votes to go this way or that. After you change the environment, the next step to that is the changing of the culture. This is actually a backwards way. I don't think our good palm color people know how to do it the other way. Okay? It is my theory that when you create a bioculture starting from the environment and working your way back to the biology, it creates a lost value system. When you do it from biology over to environment, it creates a 10 life value system. Now you can fast track that. The environment is being used to change the culture. The reason why people are going for it is because culturally they're unhappy. See, the culture is in a place that people no longer can identify with it. It doesn't match the environment nor the biology. It doesn't match anymore. So people are they want a change in biology. The people are willing to go through this bioculture. Okay? Moral is biology. Ethics is culture. Legal is environment. That's how they understand it. Moral, ethics, legal. They work backwards. Legal, ethics, moral. So they want to change the culture. Okay? He's trying to make a shift. Change the culture, which will then change the biology, how people think, how people feel, the individual, the core beliefs, trying to change it. That is what is happening. That's why people feel uneasy. That's why if you feel a change in the air and that change feels uneasy to you, it is because we are on the precipice of a bioculture event. It already started. Bioculture events are uncomfortable. In this country specifically, Black Americans have usually been negatively affected by bioculturons that we did not start. So no, I am not just a relationship channel. I can touch politics because this has everything to do with values, biology, culture, and environment. Everything. But today we're going to talk about feminism. I just had to get that out of there. I'm going to go back to it probably Wednesday when we do a live stream, because people need to really understand what is taking place. When I'm talking about politics, I'm speaking at it or about it from several different angles. And I said this the last time we was on live, I said it Friday. For the most part, I'm going to speak about politics as if the matrix is real. We know it's not. You better know it's not real. You better know that it's not real. The matrix does not operate in reality the way you think it does. It does not. This whole governmental system does not operate the way you think it does. Only on face value does it. It's the tip of the iceberg. On the top, it operates the way you think it does. On the bottom, it does not. So those of you who understand when you're plugged into the matrix and when you're not, you got to understand when you're plugged in and when you're not. You cannot believe your lying eyes in the matrix. You cannot. You can't. You have to know that the matrix is the matrix. You have to know that. You have to keep that in mind at all times, no matter how much propaganda they push to you. We are interacting with the beast. It lies. For those of you who are spiritual, we cannot lose sight of the fact that we do live in the end times. We do. We do. Much upheaval. Be ready. Be ready. Because everybody not going to make it. That's not a talking point. I just pray and hope that me and my family make it. And those of us who believe in the Most High, those of us who put our hopes in the Most High, because that's where your hope need to be. Trump is not going to fix anything. It's not your savior. Please know that. You're not going to save anything. No, we're not quite there. This is why I'm talking still, True Lion, because we're right at the door, but we ain't had to pass through the door yet. So there's an opportunity for people to understand it. You see what I'm saying? It's an opportunity still. Yes. This is buying time. It's all the stuff that's about to pop off. I'm hoping I'm not even alive for it. Real talk. That's the spiritual part of this. Anybody not using this time to gain knowledge of off the grid living, preparing your finances. I know everything is digitized, but if you got money in the bank, start pulling some of that stuff. Start pulling some of that stuff out. Pull it out. Cash will be okay until it's not. They shut that grid down and you ain't got no cash and it's all digitized in a bank, it's gone. You understand that? I don't care if you had millions of dollars. If it was all tied up in digital form somewhere and somebody pressed that button, the big red button, your money's out of there. You better have it. Have enough in that digital system to operate to a certain degree. Take the rest of it out. Get your passports together. Might have to make a hijra. Start finding out different places that you wouldn't mind being. If you're going to stay here, you better listen. You better know how to live without them. You better know how to eat without them. Figure out how to eat without them. Figure out how to eat without them. Because they're going to make it, they're going to be a hard paymaster in a minute. There are no saviors. You look to Allah, make effort. Look to Allah, make effort. Now we can get to the subject matter. Now, you know, I'm going to do my little cover up. It's going to be Reid talking. Okay. And I need y'all to listen to what she's saying because she's going to say a key sentence. And that's what I'm going to focus on today. So here we go.
Voters came through for Kamala Harris. White women voters did not. That is what it appears happened in that state, is that if you can't flip enough white women, and we've talked about this on this set numerous times, is that you have a state where you've got a 6-week abortion or a 12-week abortion. I think theirs might be 12 weeks.
Yep.
But it's a state where women lost their reproductive rights, where there was a very heavy push to get women to focus on not putting in place, re-electing, putting back into the White House the person who was responsible for taking those rights away and restoring them. But that message obviously was not enough to get enough white women to vote for Vice President Harris, a fellow woman. This will be the second opportunity that white women in this country have to change the way that they interact with the patriarchy.
And that's what I wanted to focus on. Did you hear that last part?
women to vote for Vice President Harris, a fellow woman. This will be the second opportunity that white women in this country have to change the way that they interact with the patriarchy.
She said she was talking about how the white women voted for Trump again. And she was talking about the whole baby deletion, you know, the women's rights, She was talking about all of that. Then she said this was the second time that they, meaning white women, had an opportunity to change the way they interacted with the patriarchy. And that right there, Joy, Miss Reid, Miss Joy, it came out of your mouth. But I don't know if you heard what came out of your mouth, beloved. I don't know if you believe and really digested what came out of your own mouth. Because you were coming at it from a standpoint of, man, white women are to blame for voting in Trump, without understanding why they did that. This was out of your mouth, Miss Joy. You said this was the second time that they had an opportunity to change the way they interacted with the patriarchy, which should tell you that white women were never trying to change how they interacted with white men. They were never doing that. They told you, black women, that we're fighting the patriarchy and these men are the problem. They said that to you. You took it and ran, thinking that white women was running with you, that they was supporting it, that they too did not want to interface and interact with they men in the way that they had been, because let them tell it, white men was abusive and white men was controlling and white men was the patriarchy, and you know they was privileged and they don't like it because they always not having no rights. They don't have any rights. And that it was a lie for you to consume. They didn't drink the Kool-Aid that they gave you. It was a different Kool-Aid. They gave you Flavor Aid. They drunk Kool-Aid. They gave you Flavor Aid up out of all these. They had name brand Kool-Aid. Name brand Kool-Aid. The Flavor Aid was for you, beloved. They don't want to they love the patriarchy. Now, do you see? Do you see? They told you we gotta vote, we gotta have girl power and women's rights and women's lives. And the first time when Hillary ran against Trump, they voted for Trump. And
you don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious?
You didn't find that suspicious? The first time they did it? Okay. Then, the next time, they let Biden in. All right. He picks a woman for VP. Okay. All right. Trump was out of there. All right. Now here is again. A woman was running again. Y'all thought the same play? Black women. Huh? White women showed you. They didn't tell you, they showed you the first time what they was gonna do. When it was a choice between girl power and white patriarchy, they showed you what side of the bread the butter was on for them. You fell back in bold when all of that was over and they started talking about girl power and feminism and baby deletion rights and reproductive rights and social justice. You fell right back in. You thought that, and then when the time came again, the exit polls show that white women overwhelmingly voted for Donald Trump.
You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious?
And you still drinking the flavor aid. You still doing it. Them white women done showed you. When the chips is down, baby, when it's for all the dogs, baby. When it's for all of them. They gonna ride with them white men. They don't care nothing about you. You running around here talking about ain't I a woman. They don't care nothing about that. They care absolutely nothing about that. You think that you care about it. That's the ultimate lie of feminism. That they wanted to destroy the patriarchy. No, they didn't. You know, you never can truly get away from the origin of a thing. And I see my good sis in here, Miss Danica. How you doing, good sis? Once your roots is in something, rarely can you completely cleanse yourself from your origin. White women was mad. The first wave feminism. White women was mad that black men had the right to vote before they did. That's what it was about. And the white men let it ride for a little bit because they said, well, you know, they ain't doing nothing but talking. You beg to be in the room with them. Ain't I a woman? Sojourner Truth wasn't talking to no black man when she said that. She was talking to zaddy and white women. Ain't I a woman too? I want to be in too in the room with you. I'm a woman. They didn't even see you as a human being, and you up there talking about you a woman. Where? How? When? You're not even human in their eyesight, let alone a woman, and let alone a white one. They were insulted by this. You begged and scrabbled your way until they finally decided that you could be a useful idiot since you keep on begging up after them to be included in a situation that had nothing to do with you. They was talking to white men. It was a white thing. nothing to do with you. And you still in 2024, more than 100 years later, you still tagging up behind white women like a lost, starving puppy dog. You still ain't figured it out. They do not want white men to go down, because if white men go down, the status of white women go down. They not trying to go down. White women got hypergamy too. They don't want to go down, especially to your level or beneath it. In their eyes, white men still run this place. He's still the de facto power in their eyes. And they're not wrong. And they will never undermine him. Not in the majority, a minority here and there, but in the majority, them white women is not gonna undermine the patriarchy. Is you crazy? And accept a lower status? This is why I made the Mrs. Cartwright series. You'll never be Mrs. Cartwright. They don't see you the same. They lied. It was a lie. A lie. Don't you understand? It was a lie. It's still a lie. They have not changed the lie. They keep telling you the same lie, and you keep believing it, even in this election at 91%. Still a lie. You still believed the lie. White women is not going against them men, not in no significant way. They had a little squabble with their men. It don't got nothing to do with Hispanic women, Black women, Asian women, no other women. That is they intercultural little stuff they got going on with white men. That don't have nothing to do with nobody else. Why would you continue to insert yourself in them white women's business? How many times do they have to show you in black and white, technicolor, that they is down with they men at all times? At all all that stupid stuff about, yeah, we doing this, and they don't take that stuff seriously. It's a game to them. All that coming in and they twerks too, and you know they gonna be little 304s. That's all playtime to them. That is not nothing that they want to take real serious. They do it for a little bit. It's a novelty. They live vicariously through you with that foolishness. They don't want to really do it. They live vicariously through the masses of black women and how they see black women. So they live vicariously through that image. Okay? They don't really want to do it. They listen when you talk because it's like, oh yeah, we would like to go against our men, but when reality hit, they're not going to do that. You sit around and say, we don't need no men. White women are not doing that. Not in the numbers that you do. Not in the numbers that you deal with. Whatever issue they having with white men, that's their own personal thing. That don't got nothing to do with you. Because they gonna squad up no matter what against you and against anybody else that they feel might threaten it. Feminism was never your business. And how many times white women got to tell you that? After these messages, we'll be right back. Please go to ashkicking.com. If you want to keep your skin looking, feeling, smelling its absolute best, then look no further than this wonderful body butter that you see on screen and the website, ashkicking.com. The link is pinned to the top of the chat. So no excuses. You got every reason to go to this website. The body butter is excellent. I would not steer you wrong. Plenty of people in the chat have already purchased and used these products repeatedly. If this is going to be your first time, please take advantage of the 10% discount using the promo code Crimson, all right, at checkout. Once again, that website is ashkicking.com. Don't know how many likes I need, but I owe you guys a bam, 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 bam. You got to hit the like button, bam, bam. You got to, Go ahead, hit the like button. Thank you, African Diastoic, for your super sticker. Hey, E305, been a member for 6 months. Hey, Crimson in the chat. My good sis, thank you for the contribution. I appreciate you, sweetheart. Thank you, Too Tall, said these are the last days indeed. Thank you, MVRX, said why would they tear down the system they help build? Exactly. They put too much sweat equity, sweat, blood, and tears into this. White women is not tearing this down. Okay. Thank you, Snatch Adams said, ask them to define patriarchy. Hell Hydra, not Hell Hydra. Thank you, Ray, saying, who did they attack first? Jermaine. Thank you, Lydell says, say that. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you, HVAC's a young fool. Only now at the end do you understand. Exactly. Man, thank you, Snatch Adams, to tell Kamala and Waltz it was me, Hell Hydra. Thank you, Luciana, said Democrats are paid to lose. Hi, Crimson and fam. Thank you, James, said Betty Freeman, Kate Millett, Gloria Steinem tricked black women in general, and feminism is still deceiving black women in 2024. Thank you. Jabrina said to be the most educated group in the USA still can't see the forest for the trees. Thank you, Classy said, if they decide a woman president to be a woman, she'll be white. And that'll be a hard go. Because I don't know if they just didn't like Hillary or not. But they didn't let you. You shall not pass. They didn't let her pass either, baby. You got to go sit down. We like you. You want us? Beloved sis. Thank you, D-Har, for your super sticker. Appreciate you. Thank you, HVAC. So this election marked the political extinction of black women's overcome. 2028, there will be a new voting bloc, and it won't be them. Thank you, Devon, said black women now say they can't divest because Brad voted for Trump. All in all, I don't know if Miss Joy or anybody that was listening to her or anybody that sees it now truly sees it for what it is. It was a lie whole time. It was a lie the whole time. White women never, like she said, they had two major opportunities to live up to the talking point of the patriarchy and women power. And they had two opportunities. The first one was a white woman. No go. You mean a non-white woman? No. And she's cuckoo. No, absolutely not. Now they spazzing out. That's what the spaz out is really about. The spaz out that Black women are doing a lot of is that cognitive dissonance. It's a fight for it, because one of the most vulnerable times psychologically is when cognitive dissonance, when the gap is to be closed, when you join reality with the perception and one has to be destroyed. That's where this crash out is coming from, because the reality is the reality and it's going up against a long held perception. Paradigm shifts are always difficult. You either will be strengthened by it or you'll be psychologically broken by it. Your choice. But this is what I meant by the whole Matrix situation. See, people like that movie but didn't completely understand it. The Matrix, when you're plugged in, is the perception of the reality. When you're unplugged, it's the reality. Only if you successfully understand it do you become Neo and Morpheus and Trinity. That only when you get it, when you accept it, you have to accept that the Matrix and what I quote unquote see with my eyes is wrong. It's wrong. It's a lie. It's an illusion. And the stark reality that nobody wants to live in. Do you remember what was taking place when they were unplugged from the Matrix? You know what kind of dystopian world that human beings was living in? They wasn't even really living physically. They physically were not living. Like, not in the world. All of that was plugged. They were plugged in to live a psychological life. Physically, they were enclosed. Physically, they were in pods, unable to actually experience the reality of their life physically. So it was a psychological, so that the human being could actually mentally survive it. The reality was too harsh. The reality was actually too harsh. It was so stark and almost hopeless that's why Cypher wanted to go back, because he was like, it's hopeless. There's no hope here. Let me live my illusion. Because make no mistake, we're still in the Matrix. It was not unplugged. Do not be fooled by the lady in the red dress. Do not be fooled. and I know this sound all cryptic and stuff. I'm not trying to be scary or melodramatic, but it is a sobering thought to understand that what's happening right now in government is not easy. It will not be, that's not going to taste good. Because all of that stuff, that AI stuff, that UBI stuff, the upheaval economically, the changes in the landscape of America will be dramatic. And like I'm gonna end it with the same thing I started it with. The people who believe in Allah, if you Muslim and you believe in Allah, if you Christian and you believe in God, hold on to it tightly. You will need it. Now is the time to be spiritually grounded. If you're not, the beast gonna eat you alive. It's gonna eat you. You better be spiritually grounded. Stuff about to shake. You better be spiritually grounded. Get your physical body in order. All that big back stuff, not gonna fly. Things are going to get uncomfortable. I'm not looking forward to it. Nobody should. But somebody do me a favor and put the link for Black Men Zone in the chat for me, please. Black Men Zone in the chat for me, please. Let me get to these super chats. Thank you, Project Vegan said Donald Trump was sparring his first term. Now the gloves off. Thank you, Gregory said, hey, Kendra, I guess would have great at managing things. 1 billion spent, now in debt. Yeah, I heard that. Thank you, John Teal said, I'll eat a bacon sandwich before you convince them. Thank you, Alistair said, I guess the divestment movement is dead. Thank you, Hannibal said, too many ciphers in the cipher. Thank you, African Diet Stoic said, Trump and Republicans came back like a beast master. The 80 movies I loved as a kid, tamed all the hyenas and boneyard constituents. Crazier still, a Black woman wrote The Matrix. Thank you. I think a lot of Black women have a reprobate mind. Repent, wake up, and realize the Matrix exists. Get out and join us. Thank you, Metho said, Black men are so bad, yet a third of all married Black men are taken by mostly white women. Meanwhile, Black women are the least married women in the country. Before we head out of here.
Hey, brothers, I want to tell you about a website called blackmenszone.com. Now, Black Men's Zone is a site that specifically targets black men. It's a place where black men talk about issues that solely affect them. Now, at Black Men's Zone, the topics will range from news to society, sports, technology, business, food and recipes. Some brothers got to cook too. Gaming, and some of your brothers like doing some of that. Health and fitness, got to get your workout on. Music, movies, and many other topics. Now, there's not many forums around these days for black men, and because black men have to create them. Now, this particular website is more of a forum based, something simple, not social media. You can write what you need to write, say what you need to say, get on, get off pretty quick. But if you're interested, brothers, to at least go there, and I want you to check it out, engage in the topics, go to blackmenszone.com, sign up for an account, and get engaged in the conversation.
Once again, that link, Black Men Zone, is pinned to the top of the chat. Let's support the brothers forum. This one particularly is a forum for black men specifically. Let's get him up to his goal of 1,300 active registered users. Once you go there, registration is free. Make sure that you actually participate as well. We want to see the brothers forum up and running and inviting. The more activity on a forum, the more that it invites activity. So the brothers who go and register at Black Men's Zone, please don't hesitate to join a conversation, to start a conversation, just so that it can make more men come there and participate as well. All right, I'm going to get on up out of here. Thank you all for the cash apps as well. Those of you who sent cash apps, I appreciate you as well. Thank you so much. Jump down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your hostess, The Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.